Before I start, my name is Gopi, by the way. I looked at the previous presenters, and then I found out that some of the content is already covered. So I thought, okay, I'll cover net new. I know we are taking more time, so I really took the 3 minutes to 5 minutes that was given. Really, literally, I think. So what I'm going to do is I have cut down on what I was planning to present, but instead try to cover some parts of what the previous presenters built on it a little bit. So one of the first things is I've been using Claude Code for the last 1 year. Claude billion, my spend is about $1,000 per month or something like that. But the point is, once we get into that, when OpenClaw came, I was struggling down should we learn this or not and things like that. And eventually I said, I came to this particular point as to how do I set it up. The way I set it up is just ask Claude how to set it up. Just ask it to set it up, do it tight, security tight. The previous speaker presented saying that, how you can use OpenClaw to use Claude Code and Codex. I did the other way around. I asked Claude to set up the OpenClaw for me, and that's what it did. Okay, so it was a long journey before I said, okay, you can actually do it. This is what I created this prompt now. This is for those people who have not seen Claude Desktop. It has this new tab that's called Code. You can just say that, can you set up OpenClaw on this machine, and you go and do it. And that's probably this workshop is about. But if you have some of either of Claude Code or Codex, you can make a pretty short work out of whatever workshop, the step-by-step instructions, which can be somewhat complicated. It takes time consuming, so you can try to set it up pretty quickly. Second thing is that you can, other speakers spoke to it about how you can use alternate solutions in terms of you don't need Mac Mini. My setup is pretty much one of the speakers actually covered it. The way I do that is using Tailscale. So you can see my Tailscale setup as in I name it after colors. And I have a server that's called Linux machine this is practically running in my home today. And I have Claude Code and OpenClaw running on it. I log onto that and then ask it to manage my OpenClaw sessions on that. But you can see this is basically Claude Code. And this is my Linux machine itself, which is running Tailscale. I manage it from my MacBook, and you just basically you can do whatever you are expecting that to do. The way this limits the blast radius. Initially, for those geeks in here, you can run containers and Dockers. I tried to do that. It was very limiting in terms of how much security or how much allow you need to provide in terms of blast radius. We want to limit. Do I create a new user ID? Do I create a new phone number? Those are things that I'm still working through. I did create a Google Voice number so that it can send messages and receive messages. It can send emails, and it's using separate security contained different trust domain. That's where I looked at it. And you can see that here. This is I ripped down this OpenClaw on and off over and over again, three or four times to get to a particular state where right now I'm still using it for minimal purposes, but it has become more and more smarter. In the sense that I initially had this API key, it was taking much more, but after Codex came, ChatGPT opened it up, saying that, okay, you can use legitimately with Codex subscription. I started using it for all sorts of purposes. This is something I can ask I set reminders. I said you can transcribe all those podcasts so that you get anything out of it, any transcription and action items out of it. I sometimes monitor my own internal network, my home network using it. You can see that what the IP addresses. If you want to know about those kind of things that usually these are beyond my comfort level in terms of technology. There are certain parts of technology I'm really comfortable with, but meddling with my routers is not something I'm comfortable with. But suddenly I'm starting to look at it, and then it is starting to make sense out of all those setup and technology around the routers and things like that. I use all sorts of things. Like it has become the starting position for anything that I want to do online. It used to be I go to Google search. It used to be go to this website, that website. Everything is gone now. Like basically, look at I set up the Telegram account. I never used Telegram. I used WhatsApp most of the times. But what happened is that okay, I want to limit what my OpenClaw see from WhatsApp. So I started saying, okay, let's say it's Telegram or Signal, started with Telegram. So the way if you are interested in starting and then starting small, like in terms of ensuring security, that's the way I would prefer you start in terms of ensuring that accesses that are needed, limit the security blast radius, so to speak. And this is my OpenClaw setup. You can see that it is, for those people who have seen the OpenClaw setup, this is the gateway that it comes along with it. That's a default gateway. And you can set up the chatbot along with it. You can see that URL is fully logged down, meaning that it's logged down to the Tailscale website. You can manage your entire Tailscale OpenClaw setup that runs from home, and it can be shared within the family. And you can use it to manage the whole home automation. I mean, the first speaker actually showed a bunch of things already about how to manage the home network, home automation, but this is something you can do pretty easily. And none of this setup I did myself. None of the setup, everything was done automatically by Claude Code. You just asked it to set up something. The only thing I had to do was copy a Telegram token back to a bot or something like that. And for that, I'll stop there. Yeah, this is exciting times. Appreciate the opportunity here.